A while ago, I started keeping track of all the videos that I found that were super informative that would be cool for anyone trying to learn about cameras, about production. So let's go through and see what's in here, because honestly, I forget.
What is this? Why is it all...
If anyone has not heard of Mr. Captain Disillusion on YouTube, I definitely encourage you, one, to go check him out because his videos are all amazing, but two, he has a fantastic educational series all about the foundational elements of digital production, how we got to where we are today, the science involved, giving you just such a strong foundation. Like, this seems so weird, but I'm literally getting goosebumps right now with like how important these videos are and how good they are at teaching people the foundational elements of video production and cameras just in general, like how cameras work. And it's only 7 videos. They're probably like 5 to 6 minutes each. I can't tell you how much valuable information is in there for anyone just getting started, or even for me. I learned a lot too. You know, who the hell knew, you know, why exactly drop frame exists, like 23.987 or whatever the hell it is.
The government slowed down the broadcast frame rate by 0.1% and keeps it that way to this day.
If you're gonna watch anything, go watch all of these right now. Let's see what else I put on here. Number 1, how to read scopes. Ah, yes. A very important thing when you're working with cameras is knowing how to use these certain tools that guide you to getting the correct image. So this is a great little explainer video I found by B&H that just talks about all the different standardized tools and all the different ways that you can kind of understand the information that's going into your sensor. Talking about waveforms, talking about zebras, which let you gauge, you know, how your highlights are clipping or how you want them to look. False colors, you know, my personal favorite for gauging contrast ratios. It explains the Vectorscope. That's a really good video just on like tools. So I think this is a video just specifically on the Vectorscope and kind of how to use the Vectorscope to your advantage when like trying to mess with certain colors in post-production. Oh, that's right, with the Coca-Cola bottle. Yeah, he talks about skin tones, how to make certain colors pop. You know, basically just how to read a Vectorscope and know where your colors are falling and how intense like your colors are. How lenses function. A video from Canon Asia. This video gives a really nice foundational understanding of lenses and kind of the physics behind lenses and how that all works. Talks a little bit about chromatic aberration, which is where, you know, different wavelengths of light get bent differently when it go through the lens. So how camera manufacturers have to compensate for that. Yeah, basically just gives you a little foundational understanding of lenses. Something I actually struggle often to teach people about how focal length works and how it affects other things. This video is just basically on what focal length means, how it's affected by sensor sizes, and kind of just gives you a great overview of the different kinds of lenses out there, when you should use them, etc., etc. So that's a great video. This video is a great video from Vanity Fair that actually is more on the creative side rather than the technical side. Here we have on a director of photography, cinematographer, Tom Siegel, famously worked on Bohemian Rhapsody, Three Kings, and The Usual Suspects. And he does a great overview of going through his mentality of why he's using certain focal lengths for certain shots. You know, it's a visual language, so we're using these things in creative ways to get a certain feel out of a shot or a scene. He does a great overview of what goes through his mind when he's thinking about that stuff, trying to shoot a scene. I particularly love his overview of the Bohemian Rhapsody shot. You know, they're literally doing a dolly zoom, and the way he explains it is fantastic. So definitely a worthwhile watch to get some knowledge from this very experienced director of photography. Ilford Photo brings us Beginner's Guide to Aperture. All right, it talks about f-stops and how it's used to control focus. So this is just like a quick little 1-minute video on depth of field. Filmmaking 101, the 3-point lighting setup. One of the foundational elements of everything you do. Probably one of the first things you're taught in class, you know, when dealing with video production, is 3-point lighting. And why is that? Is because it's universally accepted as like the way to shoot an interview. It always looks good, it's easy to do, and it's easy to understand. And this video gives you a great overview of how to do that. So definitely recommend checking that up if you don't already know about 3-point lighting. Mr. Parker Walbeck. I thought his name was Peter Parker? Whatever. Peter Parker. Oh. If you've been on the internet and you like cameras, you probably know this guy. Has a fantastic video on, you know, building on that 3-point lighting video, kind of just about how to shoot an interview. He does a really nice job explaining all the steps to, you know, creating a successful interview setup and then actually successfully conducting an interview, which is really cool. He talks about, you know, composition, lighting, audio. He loves to use his sliders and his gimbals, so he talks about that a little bit. It's certainly an important skill to know how to set up and conduct a great interview. So definitely check out this one.
Little by little, until you start getting better and better and better and better and finding out your style and your creativity and what it is that
Mr. Peter Hurley. Oh, he cut his hair in this. Usually he has a lovely flowing hair. He's a super knowledgeable guy, has probably taken like 3 million headshots in his life because that's what he does. He you know, takes headshots and he teaches people how to take headshots. I believe Peter Hurley has another great video on the inverse square law and how it relates to, you know, headshot photography, but really everything. It teaches you about contrast ratios and, you know, what lighting looks good for different people. And it's like fantastic video. He's a great guy. And that pretty much wraps up the list. You know, even if you have been doing video production for a while, there's certainly a lot of things that can be learned because there's so much that you don't know that you think you know. I hope this was super helpful. And if it wasn't, I hope at least it was pretty neat. Take it easy, everyone. I'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers.